I'm going to bet on the fact that you are a woman who wants to evolve, you want to grow, you want to not respond the same way that you have always responded, right? You crave that rebirth, that glow up, that rebrand to your core. You just really crave it, but you feel like you might be forcing yourself out of a rhythm that naturally feels like it's yours. It doesn't feel like flow, alignment. It feels like forcing yourself to be a certain way because that's what other people are doing. I am doing a 6 month glow up, a 6 month alignment plan. I am calling it the alignment plan, and I am inviting you with me to start it. We've got 6 months until it's like the beginning of January 2027. It's a perfect time to do it because I feel like the holiday seasons are the ultimate test for you to see if you really have stepped into your new self or you go back into the old self ways with not setting boundaries with yourself and with others, with going a bit too far when you maybe should be taking the steps to like really solidify your new self. I think those periods are a reminder of whether or not you have really stepped into the new self or if there's something still holding you back into the old self, whether that's the vicinity that you're in or the people or the kind of routine that you've set for yourself. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katerina and I have created the complete alignment plan. It's a PDF guide, it's completely free and it's linked below. Please watch the rest of this video before you click that because it will make no sense otherwise. But this alignment plan is created for you to figure out what type of energy you would spend on your day to days, depending on what sign rules your sixth house within your birth chart. We look at Mars, we look at your ascendant, and we look at Venus. We also look at the sixth house ruler, and knowing that, like, if your daily routine was a certain way and you made sure you solidified that and you stuck to that routine that aligns with your kind of energy, and you might naturally do this already, but that what area of life that will actually cultivate within your chart. So that is your sixth house ruler in wherever that is within your chart. That is all linked below, and I'm going to take you through like step by step on like what exactly you need in order to be able to create that 6 month plan. And if you've stayed until now, then well done. You are actually testing your capacity because we are in a generation, in a world where we have a 7-second attention span, which is absolutely insane. And the only way that you cannot like feed the social media into what they want, which is they want you to be on there for longer, is by training your brain to stay. We are so addicted to quick dopamine. And when you have a 6 month plan, when you have anything like a goal that you want to set and you know you need to show up for it consistently, you need to eradicate that quick dopamine because you will not get there otherwise. You will have 6 months, even longer, until you maybe achieve that goal, until you're waiting for that perfect moment. And the attention span is just like the quick dopamine hit that we get from that is addictive, and we really need to train ourselves to do it. We would much rather sit and watch 11 short form content rather than sit and read a few pages of a book. And that is something that we genuinely have to train ourselves out of if we want to elevate into the next version of ourselves. If we want to grow into that like fully magnetic feminine self, we do have to train ourselves to do better, to be better, and to test our capacity in whatever form that may be. So, I was going to separate this into 4 steps, but I think for now, I'm just going to do the alignment plan. I'm just going to give it to you and tell you what you need within your birth chart. If you want me to go through a more like in-depth 6 month plan of like how to set your goals, whether you know your goals are yours or not, or if they're inherited to you, if you feel obligated, you feel like you should achieve those goals versus like what actually excites you, then let me know in the comments and I will record that. But for now, I had a very much Mars conjunct Uranus situation yesterday and lost all my footage. So I'm trying to get this out as soon as possible. So we are going to go through the alignment plan and what exactly you need. So you do need your birth time on your birth information. I would say that you could, if you don't have that, you could go through like an intuitive route and basically read all the ascendants and the sixth house rulers and see not what you feel like you should do, but read it and feel like, oh, what feels like a little bit like you're coming home a little bit, like it feels a bit natural for you. Maybe that might be your ascendant sign, or maybe you just resonate with that, but you could try that out if you want to. But to be more accurate and detailed, you do need all your birth chart information, which is your time, your place, and the date of birth. And then you need to look at your ascendant. Your ascendant is your rising sign, it is the time of your birth, and this will determine how the wheel works within your birth chart. We are looking at whole sign here. Placidus is really great. I use that a lot with my clients, and through the work that I have done with shadow-based astrology work, astrology-based shadow work, I have used Placidus. It really helps with understanding the psyche. Personally, that is how I use it. I genuinely believe like a lot of your shadows and your cores and stuff like that, all your psychological habits, the things that you're really afraid of, can show up within a Placidus birth chart. In whole sign, it's externally what has happened in your life, which has also created blocks and loops and things that we get stuck in. So they both work hand in hand. But in order for this to be more accurate in terms of like the external ways, I would suggest you look at whole sign. But do you like whatever feels resonative towards you? Go with that. Your planet signs would never change. Your ascendant sign would never change, but your sixth house ruler might change. You might have multiple signs in your sixth house if you were looking at Placidus. So we look at your ascendant ruler. Your ascendant ruler, with that, you look at what kind of vibe that would be. I've got all of that information in the guide down below. But for instance, I'm going to use mine as an example to be able to help you understand. So I'm a Capricorn rising. So that means consistency, devotion, structure. The way I hold myself is in a very like stoic way. I do feel quite responsible with the way I look and the way I appear when I go to places, especially when those are related to my identity, like things like when it's to do with work or career and things like that. I do feel like presentable, looking put together is key. Capricorn rising, you naturally do gravitate towards someone who feels like they need to do the same thing every day, but that's not your daily routine. That's the sixth house. So this is just like how your body naturally thrives, how yourself naturally thrives. What also gives you more confidence when am put together, when my hair is put together, when my makeup is put together, when my outfit looks like it works, all of it works together, I feel the most confident and I feel empowered. And that is very much like the Capricorn rising kind of thing. I know people say dress like your Capricorn, dress like your rising, dress like your Venus, moon, whatever. Do what feels like resonative to you. This isn't so much about external what you dress like, but just knowing that if you step into that more, it might make you feel more confident. The Venus is like more feminine and more sexy and more like and I don't mean light or dark feminine, I just mean like as a whole. It's kind of this vibe of um like feminine empowering energy. The ascendant is like confidence, how you walk, how you naturally move through your life is that ascendant. We're not going to talk about shadows here. So again, if you want me to do a different video, I can do that on like what that might look like. But for now, we're just looking at like how to create a 6-month plan that aligns with you. So for me, I do know that I need some structure, I need consistency, I need to be devoted, I need to know the end goal, like what am I actually striving for, and that would give me more confidence. Then we're looking at your 6th house ruler. That is the sign that is on the cusp of your 6th house. On AstroSeek, you have to put in if you use whole sign, but whatever one you use, if you scroll to the bottom or if you're on a desktop, it's on the side, it will tell you what sign rules your 6th house. So with your 6th house sign, the sign that rules your 6th house, that is the energy that you would have on a day-to-day basis. That is what your daily life, your routines, your health habits would look like. Gemini rules my 6th house. This is the perfect place for habit stacking. This is someone who genuinely thrives on multiple options. So for me, I have created myself a whole plan. I started like a month ago, and I've created myself a whole plan about, and in the plan, it has menu stacks. So it's basically daily menu options. I have 4 menu options, and those include morning, day, and evening, and I will choose accordingly. Like, not normally the night before, I will say like, okay, I need to get that done. Okay, that's the muse day or that's the scholar day, and I write them because it makes me feel like really empowered and cool, and I like that kind of very much like deep sensual, like feminine kind of energy that I like to make it all aesthetically pleasing, yes, but also the name's cool to me. I would say that the name of your 6-month plan needs to be something that really calls to you and excites you to like do it. So yeah, sorry, Gemini 6th house, habit stacking, things like learning needs to be a daily thing. Using my mind, my intellect needs to be a daily thing. So that is learning things, that is reading up on things, that is listening to podcasts. Again, habit stacking is really crucial for a Gemini 6th house ruled place. It's you need options, and the worst thing for you to do is the Capricorn ascendant thing, which is like doing the same thing every single day. You will not continue, trust me. You will literally not continue your goals if you had to do the same thing every single day. This is where, for instance, when I'm learning, the learning is the same, but the way I do it is different. So like sometimes it might be on a walk, I'm learning. Sometimes I'm sitting and having coffee and learning. Sometimes I'm in the sun and I'm learning. Like, but the learning is the crucial thing, but it just changes the way I do it on a daily basis, and it actually makes me more excited because I'm more consistent. So that's the 6th house. The 6th house ruler just shows you, if you were, they work together, but like if you were consistent in your daily routine, if you stuck to it, and if you genuinely thrived within your daily routine, where would that help? Mine is in my 10th house, so Mercury is in my 10th house. It's genuinely going to help my career. If I show up within my work and my health, and I look after myself and I look after my routines and I stay consistent within that, it's going to help my career path, my public self. So I know that that naturally cultivates that area of my life. I have a lot of my inner planets in my 10th house. I have a very tight a triple conjunction. So for me, my career is like a lot of my life path. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe of what you would do, like just to understand what area it cultivates, what area it helps. And I think that also does help you to be consistent, because you're seeing literally, if I thrive in here, that area of my life really thrives. And sometimes it's inner stability with the 4th house. Sometimes it's 11th house and it's actually with your goals and your networking in your community. Sometimes it's 3rd house and it really helps you cultivate that local area, but also your mind. It really depends on where the ruler of your 6th house is. You can also do that with your ascendant. Your ascendant is more of like your life path where that rules. But that's the kind of idea of like understanding, okay, if I do this, if I show up here, this really benefits. And also it's connected, like my career and the obviously career and the way you work are naturally connected, but my career and the way I look after my body and the way I have my routines are genuinely connected to each other. They help and support each other. Um, so yeah, that's the second bit, is the sixth house. The third one is Mars. Where your Mars is will tell you how you naturally move through life, how your body moves through life, how you take action, but also generally like how you move your body. Mars needs to move. If not, it creates a lot of anger and tightness in the body. So Mars genuinely naturally needs to move, right? So, in order to understand what that looks like for you, in the guide, I do have what Mars looks like in terms like of a movement, um, as well as like all the sixth house and the ascendant. It's all in the guide. So, for instance, my Mars is in that triple conjunction in Libra. So, my Mars is in Libra. So, that is things that are aesthetically pleasing to me. I'm not going to work out in a very bright room where like it's all messy and like I don't have anything that makes me feel good within it. I wouldn't work out like I used to go to this gym and it was so bright and not dirty, but it was like wasn't put together. They had like a pop-up table and it just didn't make me feel good when I went in there. And I think that did genuinely make me feel not necessarily consistent, because I was, but it was more as in like it didn't make me happy to go there. I wasn't like, oh God, I'm so excited to go to that gym. Whereas now that I've switched to a different type of movement and I actually have classes and the classes are very aesthetically pleasing, it makes me want to go there. It makes me want to show up and be consistent because I genuinely love the space. So that's like your Libra Mars. If you did have Mars in Libra, again, I've got that all linked below, so I'm not going to go through every sign. But I just wanted to show you, if you incorporate your ascendant, your sixth house, and your Mars, that will show you naturally how your body would move through your life on a daily basis consistently. So that is like my menu stacking is a form of structure, but it works with my sixth house rather than being really regimented. Like Capricorn, if you had Capricorn ruling your sixth house, you genuinely would be someone who most likely needs to do the similar thing every day. They need structure daily. Um, so it really depends on the kind of layout. But what I would do is I would look at your ascendant, I would look at your sixth house, I would look at your Mars, especially your ascendant and your sixth house, to figure out how to thrive consistently and create a plan that works for you. I would even say, if you want to, you can put it into like a chat GPT or something, if that's something that you like and you don't mind using, and just say something like okay, this is my ascendant sign, this is my sixth house ruler, how would I create a consistent routine with that? You know, if you are a Cancer rising, you need to be cyclical within your routine. You need to look at the your plan as a monthly basis, not a weekly basis, not even a daily basis, because you work intuitively and you work with your cycle, whether it's lunar or whether it is your cycle syncing. You it is something that needs to be in your structure, so it's a bit um harder to just say, okay, I stick with this every single day. You need to look at it on a monthly basis. So if you want, you can put that into an AI format of some sort and just put in that kind of vibe, I guess, like something, and it might help you to figure out what that is. But I think it just will give you options of like what that looks like. And I think that could be actually really helpful. So definitely try that out if you want to. But my guide will explain kind of what that looks like. Um, if you had Capricorn rule your sixth house, or Capricorn rule your ascendant, or you had Sagittarius rule your sixth house, it's got all the signs with the ascendant, sixth house ruler, Mars, and then Venus. And Venus I put in there just for a bit of shits and gigs, really. I feel like your Venus is like where you tap into that magnetic energy. So if there is a day that you're just genuinely not feeling like good within yourself and you just want to feel lovely and beautiful and soft and you want to feel just magnetic, tap into that Venus energy more. I could say even daily if you wanted to, but definitely weekly, consistently tapping into that Venus energy would help you. So, like, my Venus is in Scorpio, so if I hide my depth, if I like try and make myself palatable or try and do something that's like trendy on social media, I naturally feel smaller. I just feel not good about myself, and that makes me feel not magnetic at the end of the day. So understanding the rhythm of your chart really helps you to be consistent. You know, every time I tried to do every single thing the same day, every single day was the same thing basically. I I would fall off like after 30 days, and I'd be like, oh, I'm just not doing it. Like I don't feel excited by this anymore, because I would push myself and I would create this whole tick list and like tick, and that's my ascendant talking, but that's not how I move on a daily basis. That's not how my body naturally thrives. As soon as I created menu stacking and different ways throughout, like how I move throughout the day, I do work for myself, so that is a bit easier. But if you don't, you can create this as a morning habit stacking, an evening habit stacking. You could create different menus for your evening routine, different menus for your morning routine. And you would just notice that there's more flow there. It's like I don't need to try, I just do. And it feels natural. And it feels like I'm no longer fighting myself to be like a 5:30 a.m. person every single day. Some days I do, some days I don't. There is less of a feeling of like I should be doing this, and more of a feeling of like, oh, this feels good, like this feels natural, like this doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to do this in any way. So understanding that is really helpful. So I am going to go now. The PDF guide is down below, and it has everything in it for your ascendant, for your sixth house ruler, your Mars and your Venus, and it will just help you create your 6-month plan that works for you. Just let me know down below if you want me to actually expand on this 6-month. But I promised that I would get this out today, and yesterday was just absolutely crazy, completely lost. All my like content just genuinely disappeared, and I was like, okay, I either miss a complete week of filming a video that I have never done. I started this on April the 11th, 2025, and I have never missed a week's video, or I just quickly do it. And I say quickly, and it's been 26 minutes of me talking. So, okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.